The game might be over, but we're just getting started. Welcome to the Todd Fox Post-Game Podcast, your go-to spot for real, unfiltered Angels talk, win or lose, on the Halos in the Infield Network. You never know what's going to happen. Walk-offs, meltdowns, heroics, or straight-up typical Angels disasters. We're breaking it all down. Who stepped up and took home the Golden Stamos, the most prestigious award in baseball? And who embarrassed themselves so badly they're stuck with the dreaded Nacho Night Award? Drop your comments, call in, and sound off. We're reading them all. So like, share, subscribe, and buckle up, because this show pulls no punches. And yes, Anthony Rendon is still a fragile little bitch. Take it away, Todd.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hey, welcome into another episode of the Halos in the Infield post-game show with your host, Todd Fox, as we start you off on a Tuesday. A 2 for Tuesday was the series started tonight in Seattle, and it's by the fans, for the fans, for the fans, by the fans on the Halos in the Infield Network, where you can talk your smack however you want. You can be as grimy as possible, or you could be as Halo honkish as you want. It's all good here on the Halos in the Infield Network. We take all and read all comments as we get going to tonight, as the Angels lose again, and they don't do much on offense again. But if you listen to the propaganda people on FanDuel, which was Bally's, you know, they start a segment off after the Angels get a run by just, you know, playing this. Hey, we got some runs tonight. They look better. Really, bro? You lost 5-3, and you scored 3 runs on 6 hits. This is a team that, again, only scored 5 runs total in a 3-game series to Minnesota. Now, we knew Seattle's pitching was good coming into this series, and we knew that, they were going to be uphill battles, but as we talked about on a podcast we're going to release tomorrow, the fact that, Johnny Washington was interviewed and he came out and basically said, I don't see no problems here with the coaching side, who, if you don't know who Johnny Washington is, he's your freaking hitting instructor. He's your hitting coach. He's got a team of guys who supposedly get these guys watching film and get them ready and prepare them with all the stats and all the geek bullshit, all the stuff that really doesn't matter, when it should just come down to technique, eyeballs, use your eyeballs, and use your sound of mind and what to do during a game instead of standing there like a statue like Taylor Ward did down the middle, again, watching a pitch, not protecting the strike zone, not choking up on the bat. I mean, literally, these pitchers from the opponents, it doesn't matter if they're from the Mariners, the Athletics, it doesn't matter if they're from the Giants, they are licking their chops. They're licking their chops because they know they have an over-aggressive team when the pitches are outside the strike zone and down or up. And when the pitches are actually in the middle and you could just throw a get-me-over fastball, usually that's a punch-out because these guys don't protect the plate, especially with 2 strikes. They are looking to swing, or they, for whatever reason, are like, wow, that pitch is real close to the inside corner. I'm not going to swing. I'm going to leave it up to the umpire to ring my ass up. So they have been more and more pathetic as we go along this season. And now you're looking 28 games into the season. You're 7-12. And of course, Gooby and Wayne have got to make all the, hey, this team's been on the road more than it's been home. That's not an excuse. Hey, the airplane flights took a lot out of them. Not an excuse. And getting back to Johnny Washington, he was again interviewed and said, well, it's not exactly my fault. Well, if I can go in Johnny Washington's voice like his father, it sounded like this. Well, it's not really the fault of the coaches. I think that the coaches are doing a good job. I think that the players got to execute. We're giving them everything. It's sort of like we're cooking and we're making the meal, and we lay the table full of food and the knives and forks and spoons, and it's their job to eat. They got to eat. They got to eat the food we prepare. And They're just not, they're not eating that food. You know, like we're giving them all the things right there and they're just not eating it. So basically the coaches were like, nah, it's their fault. Fuck them. We can't swing for them. And then when they asked the players, you know, Jeff Fletcher comes up and asked the players, a handful of players, including Logan O'Hoppe, were like, yeah, man, just got to do better. And, you know, we got to change things up and, you know, we're going to come around. And it's like, okay, you know, show me something then. Have a closed door meeting. Address the media in the right way and be like, hey, this is all on us. We're embarrassing. You know, we need to turn this around before it gets away. Instead, you know, the players are sticking up for the coaches when the players should just be like, fuck it, I'm going to do what I want to do tonight and show them that we could do something better. Or the coaches should be like, okay, scrap this. It's not working. Let's change things. Let's try this approach. And whereas, again, since Marcus Thames and other hitting instructors, again, look at our hitting instructors over the last few years. RIP Don Baylor, but since Don Baylor passed away, you've had fat ass Nacho and what is there's someone that told me he could say it a little bit better than me. I don't know if it's right here or not. Is it this one?
What?
No, it's not that one. Or is it this one? No, it's not that one either. Damn it. I'm looking for the right one. I must not have uploaded it. So botch on that one. But it was basically a soundbite that said fat and his fat ass. It's Paul Sereno, dude. Paul Sereno was terrible. He was an all or nothing hitter. Then you got Jeremy Reed, who never made it to the majors. He was a hitting instructor. He was in charge of this bullshit. Then you bring on Marcus Thames, who was a reject from the Yankees, who always swung for the fences and got some claim to fame when he played in Japan and Korea, and then came back to the majors and sucked. So, again, those are our last hitting instructors. Then you bring on Johnny Washington, who doesn't have much experience in the majors himself. So it doesn't make any sense. Common sense would be like, hey, get a hitter who had a lot of experience in baseball, played for a good amount of years, at least over a decade, put up good numbers, was maybe a perennial all-star like a John Olerud. If you don't want to go down the Chili Davis route because you think he's too old, then you go to Torrey Hunter. If you don't do Torrey Hunter, you got Albert Pujols, and you're not going to get Darren Erstad. You're not going to get those guys. You got to get some players who played a little bit in that analytics era combined with the era of trust your gut. If you get guys like that, if you could find one of those tweeners, then I think you're good. I think you could do something here. But if you have the all or nothing approach, you're just all or nothing in a boring ass team, and another game that you should have won that you lost. Another game that's just thrown away. And again, this division isn't over by a long shot, but it just sucks because you do have an opportunity to do something not special, but at least get the fans involved. I mean, come on. I've counted at least 8 or 9 games that the pitching's given us every opportunity to win this game. And yes, Fermin gave up a 2-run shot that wound up being a difference. But you really think this team would have scored another run besides the 3?
One more loss, which could have been a win.
Yep.
You call yourselves professionals. I have never, ever seen a worse group of 25 players. You don't think as a team. You don't play as a team. You don't even lose as a team. You all got your heads so far up your butts, you can't even see the light of day. Each and every one.
I love the fact that on TikTok right now, you have people, including Jack, saying, send Ward to India. He sucks. Ward does suck, dude. I'm over that guy. I've said it multiple times. I said it last year. Even when he was hitting 25 homers, 75 RBIs, he is, if you want to look at a player that represents our futility, it's him. Defensively, he's a liability. Offensively, he's a liability. Jack says, why not call up Lugo? Look, we're going to see Christian Moore. If this pace of baseball continues to go the way it is, we're going to see all or any of the players that we have, including maybe even a draft pick that we get this season. We are going to see all these guys at some point this year because we're going to have tanked. And that's sad. It shouldn't be this way. I believe we should be getting better numbers from 1 through 9. No doubt. But the fact is, we are trying the same approach and it doesn't work. Like, how much do we, and again, Johnny Washington straight up said, We got to stay the course. Did the Titanic, the skipper, see that iceberg and say we got to stay the course? If he saw it, he wouldn't say we're going to stay the course because, again, this division is not out of the I mean, look, I hate looking at the division, but you're 4.5 games out, losing 4 games, right? You're not out of it completely. You're 12-16. You really think Seattle's going to stay on a roll past us? No. Houston's been scuffling, although they won 3 in a row. They really don't look impressive. Texas is up and down. Remember when they were in first place? But if you keep losing games, you're going to bury yourself early. And they can't afford to lose division games. Now, if you look at what we talked about in preseason was, listen, for this team to get to 81-81, they're going to have to show vast improvements when they play their division. They're going to have to not bow down, bend over, and take it with no Vaseline. They've got to represent in the few games that they do play their division opponents, which is 13 instead of 19, right? So you got to pony up and play better. You got to play much, much better when you play your division. So did the Angels get that memo? No, they stayed the course. And what is that course? What do we say that course is in division so far? 1-6. 1-6. So you've played 3 against Houston, 3 against Texas, went 1-5 in those series, and then you dropped the first one to Seattle. Good showing, guys. Like the division ones are more important than again. Look, again, I'm fine with them losing 2 out of 3 against Pittsburgh. If they got to lose 2 out of 3, lose it against Pittsburgh, fine. But you got to show up and do better against Texas. You got to win at least 1 or 2 in Texas. And you should have won 2 in Houston. At least split the Texas 2-step. And then maybe, okay, if you don't win tonight, you win tomorrow. And so far, you're 4-4 in division. That looks way better than what you're going to be if you drop tomorrow's game. And by the way, did you know Anderson pitches tomorrow? Because every time they come back from the Angels hitting into a double play, not scoring a run, hey, there's Anderson tomorrow in the day game. Day game. Anderson. I mean, that's all it was. And by the way, my favorite name tonight, if I could take one thing out of tonight's game before I recap it real quick, because that's the opening monologue, I've got to say Mastroboni. That is now my new favorite name in all of baseball. You can't convince me of anything else. But if you take one thing out of tonight's show, Mastroboni. If you can work that into your comments as we go along when I read them, I really appreciate that. Because all the Angels were doing at the plate tonight was Mastroboni. That was it. I mean, it sounds like a soup, too. It sounds like a disgusting soup. But, I mean, hey, you should try the Mastroboni. It's really good. No, let's not try that. That's disgusting. But anyway, Mastroboni was probably the funniest name that I got out of tonight's game. I mean, and it was a Polanco thing, dude. So let's see. Why do you put the Angels win when they lose? Oh, it's because I just put that in the title just to see if people would like it or not. That's one of the comments on TikTok. Let's see. I'll put me in at this point. Oh my God, this is getting bad. Yeah, a lot of fans over there in TikTok are pissed. We lost again, and yeah, I mean, maybe you guys were checking in on TikTok, like, I wonder if the Angels won. No, not so much. I just put on there, but the winner tonight was Miller. He goes to 2-3 on the year, 5 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, no runs, 6 hits, and 5 walks. So he's given us 5 walks. Miller, again, 83 pitches thrown. Half of those were for balls. So, and the other half were strikes. Snyder comes in, works a perfect inning. He had Vargas come in, give up a run. Spire came in, gave up 2 runs, but Legumina and Munoz get the job done. It only took 12 pitches to close out the Angels. Again, Angels were like 11 more strikeouts, baby. So far, if you're keeping tabs at home, and why would you, 47 strikeouts in 4 games. Let that sink in there for a minute. 47 strikeouts in 4 games on this road trip. That is fantastic. Yes, Ronnie Washington, absolutely. Keep on Mastroboni and stay the course, because you're going to get that course for yourself straight to the unemployment line, and you might drag your father with him. Let's look at that awesome lineup as Kwanowitz was a tough luck loser. For all you guys that hate Kwanowitz, again, there are a few people that don't like him. I tend to like him. I think there's a lot of upside with him in the future. But for right now, we're doing nothing for the guy. Yes, he had 4 walks, but he's getting better on his accuracy. Only 3 runs allowed, and that was that 3-run homer to Polanco. And then Fermin came in and did, 66ers stuff. Remember, this guy came from the 66ers. He's going to have a night or two like this. And I'm fine with it because, again, look who you're asking. I mean, this guy's got pinpoint control. He's got some really fiery stuff, but he's going to be off every now and then because of who he is, how young he is. And I'm willing to take those lumps, but if you're willing to bring up guys like this, then that means you have to put up some offense to cover their mistakes. And again, they're not covering the mistakes. Patrick Ward says, what happened between the start of the season and the last few weeks? Well, teams have started to pitch against these guys, and they figured them out that they like the high cheese, that they'll sit and not protect the plate, especially on strike 2s. And that's what happened. So Kwanowitz, 3 runs, 4 hits in 6 innings. Fermin got lit up a little bit. McDaniels came in and mopped up. But again, the Angels get beat again. Again, 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Congratulations, Angels. You are the worst team in baseball when it comes to runners in scoring position. That is all yours. You've earned it. You now have the least walks in the league, the worst runners in scoring position. You have the worst on-base percentage in all of baseball at 258. Yikes! That's terrible. I mean, that's got to be close to a record, right? I mean, that's god-awful. And let's look at all the zeros tonight. So Neto went 1 for 3. You had Shonowell 1 for 4. You had Trout 1 for 4, but he had 2 more strikeouts. Ward said, I got your O's right here, baby. He went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Then you had Soler with 2 walks, though. See, and this is like a team high. They only had 4 walks in that whole Minnesota series. They got 5 tonight. And that's what you got to do. You got to generate offense. But even though they had the 5 walks, they couldn't do it in the latter innings against the bullpen. So, again, the bullpen adjusts while the lineup stays futile and Mastroboni the rest of the way. You also have Hoppy with a congratulations solo home runs, which all the Halo honks on AM 830 were like. Yes, none of those runs scored, Patrick. None of those runs scored. They can't bring anybody around. They don't steal bases. Guess what? They're also last in stolen bases. So the offense is playing amazing. The only bright spot, if you can call it a bright spot, because Renifo did nothing, Adele did nothing, but at least Paris had a double where he was stranded at second base. So he broke out of like a 0 for 24, lined a beautiful double down the line, was there with less than 2 outs, and proceeded to keep standing on second base and walking to the dugout after the 3rd out. So again, you can't even move him into third base with an opportunity to score on a wild pitch. You just leave him there. And that's exactly, I mean, this team is pathetic. And I blame all those useless StatCast assholes and all the coaches that continue to preach the bullshit that they are teaching our players. I think they are getting them into bad, they're getting them into bad regimens and bad career choices as far as what they're doing at the plate. I mean, these are terrible. This is affecting their paycheck for future paychecks because of the approaches. You can't tell me that all these swings are normal to you. Any random person, if they watch more than one Angels baseball game in the last week or two, can see that almost all these guys are uppercutting everything. You wonder why they're popping out to the right side, because those sliders, those sweepers, and the changeups on the outside corner, they're trying to power swing and pull the ball. And what do? Off the end of the bat, pop up to first base. Off the end of the bat, pop up to shallow right. Off the end of the bat, useless flare, can of corn to right field. That's for the left-handed hitters. Same things for the right-handed hitters. It's just over and over and over. It's the same crap. It's the same crap. And then, let's roll over a fastball if they're swing over it, and they ground out the third base. They ground out the short. I mean, these pitchers know what these hitters are going to do. So it's like, they get the first two guys on like they did in the first inning. Let's throw them a sweeper. The player will swing over the pitch and ground into a 6-4-3 double play. That's been the entire game plan for the opponent. And guess what? It has worked. And those opponents have stayed the course. Because of course they do. You stay the course when something's working or it's showing signs of working. Like, hey, we'll get the bugs out. I can understand if they start hitting or if they're just line driving and they're just scoring some runs, but they're leaving some on, but you could tell they're about to break out. Then that's when you stay the course. You don't stay the course when it looks like shit the entire time, because right now they're just polishing a turd every time the game starts. Hey, polish that turd up. It's showing more brown. No! This team is so frustrating. So goddamn frustrating. Now let's get into the awards for the best player on the field. I guarantee you it's not an Angel. It's the John Stamos Award for Best Player on the Field, and how could you not give it to Polanco? Jorge Polanco, former Minnesota Twin, as if you didn't know that. They were telling you that every 5 seconds. If they weren't talking about Mastroboni, they were talking about Jorge Polanco single-handedly beating the Angels with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. He's now batting .389. He's been the one real good bright spot outside of, I guess, home runs from Kyle Raleigh, because he's kind of their Mike Trout right now. And how pathetic is that, by the way? Hoppy has 8 home runs and 13 RBIs. Again, a bunch of solo shots for this lineup. If you just look at the Angels' home runs alone from top to bottom, you're like, hey, that's not a bad-looking team right there. But then when you look at the RBIs, you're all, wait, that doesn't match the home runs that they are hitting. So that's just a shit ton of solo blast with nobody on base. And then when they do get on base, it's ground into double play. So there's a reason why they have the lowest runners in scoring position in the league. Now, who got Nacho Night? Presented to you by 714 Tickets. If you haven't gone to 714 Tickets, what is your problem? 714 Tickets. If a ticket says $17, guess what? You click on it. It doesn't go up like it does on all these Game Time and Ticketmaster and Vivid Seats. No. On 714 Tickets, it says $17. It says $17 at checkout. And then on top of that, if you want to use HITI, which is Halos in the Infield, you put that in the Apply Now code and you take an additional 10% off on us. How cool is that? And it works for any kind of sporting event, any kind of concert. So you don't have to just say, well, I'm going to go watch an Angels game and just use this code. No, that code works for everything and multiple times. It's not just the first time you log in. So take advantage of some free Fedia, some free cash. Do it on us.
Nacho night, oh yeah, nacho night. Pile it up, load it high. Extra shame, hold the pride. Grab a fork, take a dive. Dignity's gone, but the cheese survived. Moldy cheese, stale chips, what a sight. All your dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
Nacho Night Award also goes to the Angels because over there on TikTok, Big S.A. Cali said he moved up to Washington State and went to go see the game tonight. Poor Angels fan right there as he saw a loss tonight. Hopefully you go tomorrow and you can see they somehow bounce back. Jack says, Patrick, how does it feel to have the same last name as the best player ever? Yeah, Taylor Ward. There's another Patrick Ward there. So the Nacho Night Award has to go to Johnny Washington for staying the course. Screw Johnny Washington right now. He should be so fired. There's got to be some pink slips coming. I have to think that there would be right now. I'm not even going to play the sad song because it's just I'm not in the mood to hear that shit again as the Angels drop another one. So we're just going to jump into the comments, start reading them. Remember, you guys and gals take the show wherever the hell we're going to go. I'm on a trip out with you as we get started. Also, I have some big news before we get started right here. Boo Bear's mommy chips in with $9.99 a super sticker. So does Joshua. He says, you're the best. Halos in the infield. We really appreciate that. Boo Bear's mommy, again, another super sticker. We're going to have stuff for you guys and gals starting next month, towards the end of the month when we get all our merch and everything in. You guys are going to be hooked up with some free stuff. So anybody that participates in helping the show and helping the network definitely is going to get some love and some swag from us. Rally Chris says, let's toast Spritz. We now lost 4 games in a row. And before we do, also that makes you eligible for Sit Where Fox Sits. I'll be giving away a lot of my season tickets, and not because I don't want to go, because sometimes I can't because of work. And I might as well just give that to the fans that actually want to go. And hopefully the Angels turn it around on the next homestand and are able to experience some wins. So that's what we do here too. We will be able to give away some tickets, and not just my seats. I get some hookups from 714. So maybe some family 4-packs and stuff like that. So you could take the family and not just a date or a son or a daughter. You could bring all 4 if you guys want. So there you go. Let's see. Velasquez checks in with Washington, needs to rearrange the lineup. They need to hit, dude. I mean, rearranging the lineup right now doesn't work. So let's go. Tyler checks in with a super sticker. I appreciate that too. Don't think I forgot about you, my man. So I think Rally Chris wants a botanical spritz.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
P checking in with, he's seen the game on Thursday. Yeah, I'll be there for most of the series. I got tickets for Sunday and Thursday. I want to go Thursday, but I might have to give those away starting tomorrow night, or send those off to some fans. Maybe on the chat, we'll raffle those off tomorrow. I'll have some tickets. So let me know on the chat at some point if you're interested in going Thursday or Sunday. Also getting another check in here, another super sticker now from Mateo and from Boo Boo Bear's mommy. Don't worry, man. The way Boo Boo Bear's mommy's been contributing to the show, I'm gonna be sending her like, a room in the house or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna send her some merch for sure. We're gonna have some hats, dude. That's gonna be really cool. Some hats coming in, and also some shirts. So be on the lookout for that towards the end of the month. And again, super stickers will be given first priority for that. So freebies right there for them. We'll hook them up with that kind of stuff. And then, like I said, Angel tickets to everybody else who's just really cool to the show. And you don't have to be a super sticker to get the stuff. I mean, we're going to be selling it too, but just they get first dibs on it because, again, they've been contributing to the show. EQ says we can't hit to win. We always hit early, and we can't even get our super bats late in the game. Nothing goes right for us. LV says, everybody relax. The season starts tonight. Yes, a famous person said that used to work on Blind Date.
Got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Vasquez says, you sell tickets? No, but I do get them a lot, and I will give them away. And plus, if you want tickets at a good price, 714 tickets, 714 tickets. And we explained that earlier, Vasquez, but I know you're late over there on TikTok. But if you want tickets at a really good price with no service fee and a discount with us, the price you see is the price you get, HITI and checkout, and you can use it as much as you want. Let's see. Boo Bear's mommy just is killing it right now with the money. Also, better luck tomorrow with Tyler Anderson, Shop Girl says. Yeah, that's what they were preaching all day. Eric Ward says, there really isn't much to say right now. This team is a mess in a 4-game hole. I question Washington's ability to lift this team up and get them back on track. I do too. And that's a good question. Mateo says these games are coming back to bite us in the ass already. Let's keep that energy. Season starts tonight. Winning streak starts right now. Also, LV says, I can't wait for that 105-mile-per-hour fastball giveaway. Ben Joyce most likely won't be there for that. So he's keeping in the Trout tradition of bobbleheads. Eric Ward says, I like Washington, but he's looking like another lame duck manager who will take the fall for a horribly run organization. And real quick, isn't it interesting that the Ducks organization who embraced Anaheim has built the OC vibe, something that was thought of by Artie Moreno first, but he got into the feud with the Anaheim city government, got the former mayor federally charged and is in prison right now. And the Ducks, all they've done is funded the whole OC vibe by themselves and have the city's backing, and they are best friends. And also, they announced today that they are spending $1 billion to renovate the formerly known Arrowhead Pond Honda Center into a state-of-the-art stadium and increase the capacity, because it has been said by various organizations who have concerts there, or even like the WWE, they say, hey, your venue used to be awesome, but it's too small now, which it is. So they are going to renovate the Honda Center, and it's going to look great in a couple of years. So everything you want the Angels to be, by far the Ducks are it right now. So that is what's going on. Thanks again, Mateo, dropping in another super sticker right there. Joshua says his team is pathetic. Mike Trout says, Todd, I need sex. That sounds like a personal problem. Patrick Creel says, sell the team, fire everybody. Mateo says the manager is not the problem. The problem is the owner office and Artie Moreno. I don't know, man. Can't wait to drive to Honda Center with another loss. Well, I think they're going to be better by the time we're better. See, good game for Jack. Offense let him down again. Yeah, Jack Kwanowitz pitched good tonight. Let's see. Mateo says, me love you long time, which is said by this man.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny, and me love you long time.
007 says Ron Washington officially on the hot seat. I generally hate Seattle. Stupid city, stupid people. Can't believe we lost to those fuckheads, Chubb says. Hey, I like Seattle. Mike Trout says, sell this team, will request a trade to the Doyers. Montoya checks in on TikTok. Go Knights, go. Eric Ward says, Washington is the manager, and he is accountable too. Nah says, Todd, will I ever be happy again? I think your name says it best. Nah. Also, Eddie Perez says, sell the team. Yes, sir. Mike Trout says, he's locked on. Shop Girl says, maybe we can beat the Tigers like cheating Astros can the next 4 games. What the fuck? Yeah. And the Tigers are coming to town red hot. They got 18 wins already. 007 says, Angels baseball has returned. Don Hammond also checks in with another brutal loss where the team can't hit for shit. I mean, it's ridiculous. I've seen offense never seen offense this bad. Junior Torres says, what went wrong? We were 8-3. Now we're 12-16. Well, we're 3-11 in our last 14, my man. LV checks in with, is it me or does this game feel like it was over in the 3-run homer? No, it's definitely what happened. Boo Bear's mommy, who checked in again with another contribution, appreciate that. She says, I honestly think that Artie's wife wants a divorce, which would be why Artie doesn't want to win. His wife will want half. Well, that would come down to the same thing that happened to the Dodgers with McCourt. And they got McCourt out of there because of that. So we'll see. Let's see. We play good versus good teams, but fold against a guy named Mastroboni. Yeah, that is the best name. And don't at me any otherwise. I love that name. Useless Trugger says strikeouts raining down. Oh, what a sight. Once soaring like angels, we're now grounded tight. From MVPs to millionaires, it's sad song in this baseball circus where everything's wrong. Wow, I like what you did right there. That was a good shot at rhyming right there. That's not bad. And, it deserves some circus music since you brought up the circus. And if I could find it, that always happens to me. I always lose it. Good job, Useless Trucker. Also, Dan says spritz balls and shitty umpire that Washington wouldn't yell at, fire him. Dude, yeah, that's the only thing too, man. I mean, you got Mastroboni in right field. You got strikeouts being called, questionable things. And Ron Washington just sits there like, that's a long way for me to walk. up to argue with that umpire. I'm gonna just sit on my fat ass right now. Well, it's not a fat ass, but it's an old ass. So I'm gonna sit on my old ass and not go up there and argue. So there you go. See, do we have a chance to make the wild card, dude? Like that's way too early and probably too late to talk about that too. Let's see. Verse says hi, random, but by chance, do you know what time the Big A parking lot opens on Sundays for early games? I think that is around 10 a.m. I want to say for early games because you can go in there and you can freaking tailgate, which you can't do at Dodger Stadium. And again, another game where we're not fucking bunting at all. And to move the runner over, Andrew says. Also, Andrew says the Frick says was going to the Joyce bobblehead on Friday. Not sure if I want to. Well, I'm going. I got to get that bobblehead, and I'm going to go for the game as well. But good grief, it's going to be a hard watch if Detroit pitches good. Trout was the king, but where did he go? A former MVP, but he's moving slow. Oh, man, I think all his comments are going to be in freaking rhyme form tonight. Does Trout need to sit deeper in the lineup? Abso-freaking-lutely. Johnny B. Good says, honestly need confirmation if Rendon is back in the clubhouse because I really think he could affect the chemistry there. I heard he was. Is it true? Because all of a sudden they look like major shit. That's probably having a lot to do with it because, again, there was that rumor that he was going to meet up with a team in Houston. And if that's the case, that spelled the start of this whole mess. This is why I'm distracted by the Warriors, Mateo says, and I see your super sticker. I appreciate that, my man. Pitching is fine, Grillmaster says. Washington has to go on Foul Territory podcast. They called out the Angels for having a night game versus the Pirates and then taking the red-eye plane to Minnesota. Yeah, it sucks, dude. Adele, Shonowell, Ward, Renifo got to go. I'm good with that. Also, Angels by Demetrio says lose and the Clippers losing. Fuck everything. Trash Halo says Johnny Washington is trash. LV says Todd, I just want to honk, but the Angels won't let me. So he's trying to pull it out in public or even in private, and he can't do it. I'll do it for you right there. No, just don't Mastroboni in public. I love that name. Let's see. Andrew Frick says maybe Ron Washington should shave his head and do it like Joe Madden. Oh, wait. Grillmaster St. Paul Sereno, Jeremy Reed. 10-game losing streak guaranteed on it. Bet on the house. And that's that 10-game homestand versus the Orioles. You got the Blue Jays and the Tigers. Oi, Ohapi could be generational. Swing really get great at times. He is really good. I think all of them are being cheapened and really, really not used to their ability because of this stupid approach that they are being coached into. So we know that there is a script to follow and they have to follow it. So cheap hires get you cheap results. That's for sure. We are the Temu of baseball. Don Hammond says, you're not going anywhere this year. We're not going anywhere. Polanco 5, Angels 3. Minopi says, for God's sake, I just want to honk. Sorry, man. There's just no honks tonight. Torrey Hunter wouldn't want to coach his team if Artie was the owner. Different story. Useless Trucker says, K's in the infield t-shirt. Keedy, Angels baseball, where striking out is an art form. Back, we're just practicing for a next big performance in a strikeout Hall of Fame. That could be a shirt, but that's a lot of lettering. That'd be an expensive shirt. Also, Washington just said it was a good offensive night. Oh, my God. Only thing we get to honk is for Jack in the Box ads in the Bally theme. Hey, did you know that there is a $12 Munchie Meal? And I love Bally's, man. Or FanDuel, whatever the hell they call themselves, because they always do that. There's like a double play that ends the inning, and then all of a sudden they come back from commercial, and you hear Gooby go, "Hey, geez, check out the launch angle from that game on Sunday 2 weeks ago when they won." It's like, man, why are you pulling that up? Oh, yeah, that's right. To change the narrative and make everyone forget about the double play that just ended the inning. 007 says the whole organization needs a complete overhaul. Rehaul, like the Ducks, are a great example to follow. J-Dog says Dumble ears are way too streaky. Absolutely. Andrew Ferk says Halo Tees guy is going to start making shirts of the stadium ushers soon. Yeah, that guy's something else. Let's see. I would agree with you, 007. Oh, yeah, he's talking about the Ducks. Also, Mateo says, to be fair, though, I didn't even watch most of the game. I was making homemade pizzas for dinner. I bet you, Mateo, your pizzas are way better than OG's. BT says Mariners own you, or own y'all. So that you got Mariner fans taking shots. As we have a resident Mariner fan. So Jack says Gooby still talks about Renifo hamstring. He could be hurt in week 1, and that's why he doesn't run. Always excuses. Saucy says, so hard to watch his team day in and day out. Yeah, man, I should be getting paid for this. Eric Ward says, coming from a Ward who doesn't suck, the other Ward does suck. 007 says, Farty, fucking Farty, you cheap, greedy leprechaun. Everyone's like, fire this guy, fire that guy. James Malou says, balls, and oh no, we suck again.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and balls. Oh no, we suck again.
Yes. Don Hammond says there's no reason on earth that we should be seeing Christian Moore, Dana Clausen, or any other prospects this year. That would be the dumbest thing. None of those are ready for the big leagues. But Don, you don't understand. They're shiny new toys, so we must bring them up. I'm not saying that as that's the smart thing to do, because obviously I disagree and I agree with you. However, it's the most angel thing to do, so they'll do it. Saucy says, it's like we are destined to be terrible. The fact that they suck dick is unavoidable. It's like Final Destination. Rushing those prospects isn't going to change anything. They have to develop. I agree. But again, they're going to do the opposite. Silent E checks in from Substack when he's not writing some awesome Substack articles over there. If you haven't subscribed to our Substack, please do so. It's free to do so, and you get some really, really good articles by my boy Silent E. He says Trout being the leader of this team, the leader in strikeouts maybe, 36 strikeouts, and second is Ohapi with 35, but at least Ohapi can actually hit despite striking out so much. 119 plate appearances and 36 strikeouts. That is god-awful. They're destined for 300. At this point, who cares who plays? The entire team isn't ready. I got a master boner, Grill Master says. Jason String says, do you not stream on X? It's on X right now, Joseph. We're on X. We're on YouTube. We're actually on what's that other one right there? I forget the logo of that one. And then we're on Twitch, and then we're over on what is it called? TikTok right now too. So we're on several. 007 says Mike Scioscia is only 66, should bring him back. Ron isn't working. The problem is they just can't do it because Scioscia manages with his gut, and he would have a job 10 times over, but he refuses any kind of analytics. And unfortunately, in this day and age, you have to freaking accept the analytics in some fashion or form. I don't know how much the percentage of most of these organizations value that to the actual manager's knowledge. But you have to embrace it at some point. Vasquez says, let Dana develop till the break. Hope Detmers can return to be a starter and a solid long reliever. Those are all great takes. But where does the hitting come in? See, that's the thing. We all have different ideas about how we can do the pitching, whether it's entering guys into the rotation, into the bullpen, stuff like that. But we can mix and match guys in the lineup. They're just, the approaches aren't there, and it's not on the players, because I'm looking at teams with far less talent doing more. We got a good example of that with the Pittsburgh Pirates. You can't tell me that team is far better than this one. Yet they pounded us and they singled us to death. There was nothing hard hit about what they did. It's just they had better approaches. So, yeah, it was much better. Also, Grillmaster says maybe the win we had was the friends we made watching the show. 007 said Ohapi is the future, is done. A Trout has turned into a Ken Griffey right now. Mateo says, hey, Todd, I'm planning to go to Angels-Marlins game Friday the 23rd. Are you going to that game, yes or no? Yes, I will be there, Mateo. And you know what? If you're coming down with family, I'll try to get you tickets since you've been actually, I'll get you tickets. Just let me know unless you already have tickets. If not, dude, I'll save a seat next to me for you for that one. I should have some stuff there for you too, Mateo, if you're coming all the way down, because I think you're coming down from like Central California or something. So we'll figure something out, my man. Also, J-Dog says, hey, come on, man, to the Big A for the $5.99 Mastroboni meal. 007, I don't think Mike wants to come back. Also, Oscar Lee says Angels Mastroboni all over themselves tonight. Hit the damn ball. Trout can't even hit above the Mendoza Mendoza line. 28 games in. Yes. Also, balls, and Mastroboni. So you're calling out a
Time for
soundbite.
you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Mastroboni. Also, Saucy says, at least I've been killing it on prize picks. I always bet on the strikeouts for the Halos, but also I gamble responsibly. Mateo says, Mastroboni sounds like the name of a pasta, a pasta you don't want. Artie says, go Clippers. Rally Chris says, Paris got a double. Q Lombardi. Silently says, Mastroboni master his bony all over us and took his walk and scored and spritzed all over home plate. Let's see. Also, can we get a Mastroboni soundtrack, a pasta with some secret sauce? I got to clip Wayne saying it because Wayne was like, high fly ball out to Mastroboni under it, and Mastroboni makes the catch. J-Dog says, be the one that knows the signs, be the one to reach out. Don't sit there, swing away. Krusty says, I'm heading over to the Big A on Friday. Hopefully I get there in time for a bobblehead. Just get there around, if you're getting there after 6 o'clock, you won't get one. I guarantee you. When they open the gates, when as cheap as they are as far as giving out bobbleheads, they only give them out to the first 25,000. Don says Kiwanowitz wasn't even that bad. 6 innings, 3 earned runs. But that's insurmountable when you look at this team. Also, Johnny Washington has to go. The Angels suck, Twitter says. Blacking out into the night for his birthday boy, Ronnie. Let's fucking go. Thoughts on Ron going as well? I agree. He's got to go. I think at this time, you got to let them both go. 007 says, got to go full force, sell the team chance again. And the Angels come back this weekend. Let's see. Also, Velasquez says, how do I select your name for referral on 714 tickets? When you go to 714 tickets, pick those tickets, go to the apply now code and put in HITI, which is Halos in the infield. You'll get an additional 10% off. So there you go, Vasquez. Get your tickets, man. Get your tickets. Also, Grimmaster says, hey, what was the exit velocity on that Mastroboni? Hey. Sammy says, umpires were absolutely terrible. They were. Also, J-Dog says, hey, exit velocity, home runs, launch angle, hey. Artie says, I will never sell. Sammy says, they rung up Trout, Ward, Adele on horrible pitches that were nowhere close to the strike zone. The thing is, though, Sammy, when you are struggling, the umpires won't help you out, and you've got to protect the plate. That's also on the Angels batters to freaking try to protect the plate and put the ball in play. Mateo says, hey, Artie, you have to care about winning. I don't think he does. Trash Halo says, Angels Mastrobonied by the Mariners. Cue balls and balls.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Mastroboni. Rally Chris says, what was Papa Fox saying about the game? He was like, boy, these teams can't hit. This is probably one of the worst hitting teams I have ever seen. He was always mad. Boo Bear's mommy says, I was saying it for 2 years ago, and I got flack for so-called Angel fans. I know. Tyler says, holy shit, I'm myopic. Marty says, what happened to us winning the West? Ron promised us we would. Screw that guy's birthday. Yeah, he said, we're going to chase down the West, and you can take that to the bank. No, if we took it to the bank, it would definitely bounce back. When will we fire the hitting coach? That's got to happen here soon. Saucy says the entire lineup should be wearing knee pads also, and it's not even June. Tyler says, hey, what did I miss? Did we win? Hey, Pac-Man Mini Arcade at the Big A, 007 says. Also, Artie checks in with can't wait for Christmas in June. Angel Suck says, Gooby said today during the broadcast when talking about the Angels losing lately, well, it's not due to the lack of effort. They're out there taking grounders and doing batting practice every day. Again, these guys shouldn't be practicing at all defensively. I mean, it's obvious these dudes need to be hitting and live pitching. Unbelievable. Tomorrow ends April, and a tough May is about to make things worse. Artie says, Merry Christmas to one and all. Eric Ward says, you should leave a pile of shit bobblehead night this year. He should. Also, J-Dog checks in with stay the course. Yeah, getting swept by shitty teams, striking out overall, just looking like Mastroboni at the plate. They're like that Spider-Man meme from a couple of years ago where he's behind the desk and it's just like, this is happening. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting here masturbating. That's exactly what that was. Mateo says, Artie, get the bobbleheads, would you? Big pile of shit on the logo. Useless Trucker says, refrain from using the word useless. I'm very sensitive to it since I dropped so many loads and had useless put on my work review. Oh, geez. Dan Real says, not the worst game and not making excuses, but the home plate umpire sucked. Trout had a walk. Nope. Strike 3 and clearly was outside. Bring on the ABS. Artie for Nacho Night. Mastroboni, what a name. Johnny Be Good loves that. Also, maybe is Ron Washington getting a mohawk and then he's fired? Also, this team is depressing. Cue the antidepressant ads. I don't have those, but I've got to get them. Angels with runners in scoring position, and the broadcaster down 3-0. AM 830 was talking about home run from the Angels batter at the time would really get the Angels what they need. It was just a hit would be nice. Exactly. That's what they preach, Botched. Also, Mudwater says, been hearing it. Is Artie running for governor? That'd be great. Why do they need to take the red-eye flight to Minnesota so Artie should sell more tickets? Ridiculous. That's how cheap he is. I'm just doing it in his voice. Saucy says, since Artie won't sell, everybody else needs to go. All management, coaches, and players with less than 3 years control. I agree. Nacho Night, honorable mention, home plate umpire. We went through the super stickers right there. Mateo says, why can't I look at 714 for the month of May? Because you got to adjust the month or scroll down. It's there, though, bro. Trust me. Family 4-pack. Hey. Also, how to know which tickets you are getting on 714 tickets or 714. Yeah, you just got to go to 714 tickets. You just pick teams, and all the teams are right there. You click on them, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's all there. Boo Bear's mommy says, how to see, I know how to get people to help. I will match each with up to 200. God damn, Boo Bear's mommy. Yeah, she's just flinging it right there, going band for band. Also, I can't wait to go to this Garbo ass team. By the way, it's like the worst time to announce it. Well, even though, I mean, we're going to have an ad for it, but on the 10th, which is a game against the Orioles, we will be doing another tailgate over at Bruheim. And then we're going to do a watch party for the next homestand, which will be doing our own televised game here on YouTube and other forms of media. Me and another broadcaster. I'm not sure if it's going to be me and James or if it's going to be me and Dominic, but we're going to do a live play-by-play of the Angels hopefully winning. So we'll see. Oh, man. See, MVP Mateo, thank you, everybody, for matching right there with the super stickers. Really appreciate you guys right there. Todd, I want to donate my super sticker to Yvette's family. That is done, my friend. And we're going to have her celebration of her life at the Angels game on the 20. I think they said the 23rd. I'll have more details for that, but they're going to do a tailgate probably under the Big A. And, just donations are nice, or just to come by and give, pay your respects to the family. Yvette was a super fan of the show and an overall great person and a super Angel fan. And it's just too bad this team couldn't be winning for her at this moment. But yeah, that's when they're going to plan. I'll have more details if anyone's just interested in coming down and at least saying hi. That'd be nice to do for everybody right there. Marty says Boo Boo wants those nips out, Todd. I can't bring them out tonight. It's cold out here. It's April and it feels like meaningless September. Thank you, Gooey, for those words right there. Also, Sega Boy says, why don't all the players combine their money and pony up to fix the stadium? Because it's not on them, unfortunately. It's not. Let's see. Also, Leaf is not here for whatever reason tonight. He's the resident Seattle Mariners fan. Sega says, I don't want my Uncle Ron to get fired. I wish he could have made us like he was when he was coaching the Braves. Let's see. Also, Angels' current play has me thinking about watching the LA Sparks. How dare you? Mike Trout says, Murray cooked the Clippers tonight. 007 says, how does this affect LeBron's legacy? That's AM 830 tomorrow. He's like, hey, we need to know how this is going to affect his legacy. See, I need to pay for this team to visit, or I need to pay a team a visit to resurrect like a god and bless the stadium, since I can feel all the Native American spritz. They have sage, holy water, exorcism, incense burning. Also, Joshua says, go Clippers, fuck them Lakers. Tony C says, smash the like button and share. Angels need to get Girardi as our manager. Bring in Chili Davis as our hitting coach. There is no motivation on this team. Trout looks pissed off. Also, Mateo says Todd should say the Angels line up with the circus music. I should actually right there. Also, 007 says, read an article at the Angels Stadium was built on Native American Indian cemetery, and that's the reason why they're cursed. I think it's the one in Tempe, but maybe it is this one because that would explain a lot. Raleigh says it should not be the Angels Stadium. It should be welcome to the Anaheim Circus to see Dumbo. Wu says Trout should just get sent down if we're honest. Suck it, Kings, Demetrio says. Sega Boy says twice Renifo had man on base. He strikes out like a girl and grounds into a worthless pool hole, which is a double play. DJ says, I'm so pissed off right now, and I'm going to take a massive dookie in my Doyer's toilet to make me feel a little bit better. Mateo says the only people that should be fired is or should not be fired is Barry Enright and staff. Yeah, I like what he's done with the pitching. Let's see. Also, Perry's script is for puppets. 007 says should get Bud Black back as manager, steal him from the Rockies. We will not be good. The damn machine 21 says till Artie sells. Well, that's not going to happen. Remember what happened in 2002? We were 6-14. Poppycock called a meeting, Sosha, and the rest is history. Yeah, but again, man, they say that every year. Dan Rios says balls.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Steve.
Hey. Also, Mike Trout says, who's the worst manager in your opinion, Madden, Nevin, or Ronald? I think Nevin, because Nevin had no idea how to manage. At least Madden knows some stuff, and Ron does as well. Sega Boy says, please believe right now. Believe in the launch angle. Also, yep, that team sure did suck last night. Yeah, I mean, I think he's referring to, if I could find it, because he always there. You go.
That team sure did suck last night. They just plain sucked. I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
I think right now Trout's batting average is sitting at 173. Please believe in 25. No, it's revive in 25. Or as we like to say, spritz in 26. We should trade Jensen now. I think you get him a few more saves if this team actually wins, and then you could send him. Also, Grillmaster says there's also Harrison Masturbator on the Twins. What a dick. Jeez. I can tell the future guys the Angels will be in the World Series in 25 with Kenley Jansen closing it out. Boy, he's on the good stuff tonight. JT says Wanker and Mastroboni. It's a good combo. It's not time to quit. It's time to swing away. Absolutely. Why not, dude? I mean, you can't get any worse than this. Also, stop booing. My man Artie, he's the best. Let's see. Odds are that we're 500 again, Andrew. I'd bet the under right now. And then Mateo's saying, Roger's like, oh, happy. Grillmaster's talking about this gem right here of what is it called? Of a soundbite. Where is it? Damn it. It is right here.
Let me tell you something about my guy, John Stamos. So I was able to go in the back bedroom and unscrew the old
Balls and running up my butt right now.
You get out of it what you put into it. John Stamos
Choked on me.
He was so great.
Artie is bringing back Racing Erstad in center field. Robert says, fuck it. Just bring on Rendon back. It will be the icing on the cake. Silent E says Polanco was the master of the Angels' Boney tonight. He whacked all over and gave the Angels hitters a masterful case of penis envy. I like what you did there. See, that comes from a writer who's on Substack, by the way. Check him out. What happened to showing emotion? This team forgot to show emotion because myopic as hell. Yeah, there is no emotional. There's, there's no emotion at all, but there is a little bit of
emotional damage.
There's a lot of that. Justin Option says, I don't care what anyone says. The Angels are winning the 2002 World Series. And it'll be on repeat. We need to get Ron on 8-ball. Maybe he coaches better. Artie's saying moist. This team needs to get their heads out of their asses because this season will be lost by mid-May. Don't worry about it, though. The season does start tonight.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Tyler says, I understand the umpires suck, but it feels desperate blaming them when we suck this bad. We've seen them pathetic with good umps. Mateo says, also, I will let you know about the tickets, Todd. I was going to buy some, but If you have some, that's cool too. I could hook it up. Also, Boo Boo Bear's mommy got her stimulus check. I will match 5K, whatever, right there. Boo Boo Bear's mommy says, Andrew, I shop, and when I'm watching Angels, it makes me feel better. EQ says this team sucks. Dan Rio says it's not Angels Stadium, dummy. It's Angels Stadium. Angel Stadium. Also, EQ says, I think we just need to make Artie look or say something racist. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. But I'm down to see if we could work it out somehow. I guess it's bad. Oh, it's been bad lately. It could be worse. Darren Sutton could be back in the booth with Kubi. Those were days. Those were the days. Brian Mulkin checks in. He says the Ducks owner, Harry Samueli, just recently announced he's putting $1 billion into the Honda Center into an Anaheim City-owned property. 2 different franchises for sure. Yeah, we brought that up earlier, Brian. And that's a great move. I mean, they're actually doing everything that you would want the Angels to do. Mastroboni spritzed in my mouth right now. That's disgusting. Also, Mike Trout says, never forget, Rendon still has more rings than me. Yikes. Let's see. Also, Grillmaster says, I choked on my Mastroboni. That's disgusting. Also, Dan says, feels like it's been a week since Stuka's been played. Yeah, I don't remember playing it. Mastroboni or the Dong. I say both of them at this point. What's Roger saying about the negativity? Well, let's hear what he has to say about the negativity, because he went off one time. He just lost it. Where is it? Let's see. Super mad. No, not that one. It's, damn it, where is it? Is it this one?
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gavin Carlson, former credentialed journalist in the LA area. How about a yummy tasting nut?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays
Now,
off for him.
Let's not have a yummy tasting nut, shall we? Let's see, where is it? I had it him mad right here. Damn it. Where did it go? Oh, right here.
Anymore. I just can't. And they can fire me if they want, but I can't sit around and listen to negative phone call after negative phone call. If you're a so-called Angel fan, if you're a Halo honk for life like me, then shut up with,
he said shut up.
Go. It's this guy's fault. It's that guy's fault. Forget it. Let it go. We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight. If you don't want to say anything positive here this afternoon, stay off of my phone lines. The Angels.
Stay off my phone lines. What a dick. LB over there, or Light That Baby Up 57, says, bro, I had so much optimism this season and still do because it's April, but April is so important. That's what we were saying. For the Angels to have any kind of motivation or momentum going into May, they had to have at least a 500 April. And they couldn't even do that. And yes, football season might come faster than we think. Andrew says Tommy Pham wanted a Mastroboni on that fan last week. He did. Stop trying to set up Artie. Artie's bat signal's out there. We'll see if he gets on right here. The Mastroboni is the dong in disguise. Rally Chris says Mastroboni will be a great on the Locked On Talking Nuts. Eric Ward says the mac and cheese Master Boner combo meal is coming to Jack menu. Oh, that's disgusting. Also, Lodge is something that rhymes with maggot. Ew. Also, my Halo honk hotline is all lit up. Yeah, that guy is something else, man. I mean, again, this dude has been preaching, trying to get everybody to be nonstop. What is it called? Positive, no matter what, and it just sucks. Joshua says, I'd rather see paint dry than watch this team. Eric Ward says the heavenly Halo phone line. Oh my God, you got all the sayings right now. But yeah, we're waiting for Artie. Maybe Arturo Moreno can come on and help us out. Or, this is what we should be telling Mr. Johnny Washington.
You're fired. What?
Yeah, because I'm just, you just can't explain the futility on this ball club. Again, only 6 more hits. They couldn't score a run till the 7th inning. And it was a solo blast. And then they were able to muster 2 after giving up 2. And again, Halo honks are going to be like, see if we didn't give those 2 runs. But that still doesn't excuse why the hitting has just disappeared. And Andrew says, you know what? This team needs motivation, and I got exactly what they need. Yep. So Artie's probably too drunk to call in. I don't know. He should be coming in at some point. Artie needs to be the poster boy for erectile dysfunction. Nothing the fans or players do can please him and couldn't please us either. That's a good point. Tyler says we do not need Farkas. We're not that desperate. Dude, and you know what I think it is? Farkas isn't calling in because he's actually working. I kind of miss the guy, but he's kind of lost his edge now that he's a man, so to speak. So he became a man, and he did what we thought could never be accomplished, according to him. And yeah, it was consensual apparently. So that's even more surprising. But with that being said, let me just get into the sponsors one more time here. 714 Tickets, where you can get tickets at a discounted price because you're not paying those service fees. You're not paying the taxes. The price you see is the price you get. Plus, you use HITI in the promo, and you get that 10% off. Also, Underdog Sports Bet responsibly. Use Halo, and they'll match your first bet or winning up to $1,000. Also, Brewheim beer. You can go in there, use HITI, and get 10% off a pint. And it's a great place to take the woman, take the man, take whoever, a friend. Just have a good time and hang out. There's plenty of room there. It's a really nice spot. Plus, they got some good food. And then OC Dugout. If you're in sports memorabilia, you want to buy, trade, or sell, go down there and mention us. And they may hook you up with something right there for doing so when coming down there. They do a lot of good events right there. Also, Eric says, I think Ron could care less at this point. This year is the end of his contract right there. And then Mateo says, the nurse is calling. Her name is Dixie Enormous. MLA says, Todd, don't you think you can get away without talking Spanish tonight? So here we go. Ay, Wade, did we win? No, we did not, MLA. We lost once again. That nurse's boyfriend name is Mike Ock. So stupid. I don't know where you get these jokes, bro, but
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I mean they are something to talk about. Yeah.
Smart thinking.
Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
Andrew says Gooby Tuesday is another loss. Also, MLA says, but you saw the dong, right? There was a big time, not a dong, but there was something huge out there. It was Mastroboni. Oh, wait, we have someone, and I don't know who this is. So I'm playing Russian roulette right here with the phones or whatever. So let's bring he or she on. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hello, Herr Klaus. How are you, Todd?
It's Klaus, head of security at Anaheim Stadium.
That is I. How are you today?
I'm not good. Our Angels lost again, Klaus.
And yet you think you could come into the stadium with the clown makeup on? Give it up, Todd.
Listen, I got in, and that's what he said. But I got in there, and I put the makeup on the inside, so you couldn't catch me at the barbed wire fences this time.
Oh, I see. Hold on 1 second, please. Schultz! Get in here at once! Schultz, what is going on? He's putting the makeup on in the stadium? What is this, the RuPaul episode or what?
By the way,
get out, Whiteside! Get out! Get out! Schnell!
Klaus.
Yes.
How quickly you change your intensity there.
I've been living in the States for some time now.
Yeah, your English is impeccable.
Yes.
Better than mine. Tyler's wait, first off, you're messing me up here. Dan says, did Klaus forget to refuel the Stukas? We haven't seen them.
No, there hasn't been any Stukas lately, that's for sure.
There was Stukas on opening night. I thought of you when those Stukas flew over. That was pretty cool.
Well, how sweet of you to think of me. I thought of you too, Todd. I have, let's see, it's a picture of you hung up on my wall over the dartboard that I've been throwing darts at for the last 2 months.
I should have took a picture of you because you were wearing that oval like space. What was it? Space movie, not Star Wars, but it was the other Spaceballs. Yeah, it looked like you had a Spaceballs helmet on that little bike. That was pretty funny.
Safety first, Todd. Safety first. We have to be safe out of the stadium. I don't want anybody cracking the head open, especially when you're in your 90s driving a scooter around.
Yeah, I mean, going from working the Auschwitz to that, I mean, that's pretty crazy for a German like yourself. Tyler,
Go ahead. It's your show.
Tyler says, "Why does Klaus look like Jason Statham with an eye patch?" You definitely changed your look.
Yeah, I went for something more menacing. I need to really smack it home and let people know that I am serious about the safety here.
Well, since you're talking about safety and serious for the fans, you want to protect the fans but keep clowns out. Apparently. Oh wait, where did he go? He just disappeared. Klaus is gone. What the fuck happened? Call back, Klaus. I had a really good question that Eric wanted to ask. So he wants to know where the offense went. I'm sorry. Hopefully Klaus can come back right now. Andrew says Trout is ready to play on the golf course already in Jersey. So he kind of blue balls this with all this Mastroboni stuff happening on the field with the Mariners. He just up and disappeared. That's crazy. Mateo says, why are baseball games at night? Because bats are nocturnal. Oh my gosh. Tyler says, Klaus is Mastroboni. That is the word of the night. For all those coming in on TikTok and other various forms of media, just checking in on this page on X, just look up the right fielder for the Mariners. That is the best baseball name of all time. Imagine Vince Scully calling this guy's name and trying to tell you a story about him. He's from San Ramon, California, Miles Mastroboni. He got that name as his dad was furious with his right hand. He was a boxer. It'd be something like that. And that's a terrible Vince Scully impersonation, but he's probably rolling his grave knowing that I just tried to attempt that. But anyway, I was just trying to do my best Roger Lodge right there and give some filler to hopefully get our boy back on. But I don't know if Klaus paid his bill or already paid his bill because I don't see him here. I'll put out the bat signal one more time. If he doesn't get on, then we're just going to have to deal with half a Klaus call. Either that or he didn't pay his internet because something went awry. They're looking for Drunk Artie right now. Artie is definitely a fan favorite on this on this page, no doubt, dude. Artie Moreno always comes in here and gives us what he thinks Angels baseball should be, which is always the wrong answer. If you are new to this page, because again, Artie Moreno is we have the Spritzer clock there for a reason. Dan Rio says he crashed his Stukas. Artie is drowning his sorrows in a dime store. We haven't heard from Erica the Eye. Yeah, we haven't heard from her eye. I don't know if it made the trip or not. Also, Boo Bear's mommy has a good question at Bruheim, where we have our tailgates, which we're going to have on the 10th, by the way. Bruheim does have now non-alcoholic beverages. Not only just for some reason they have non-alcoholic seltzers and beer, and then you have all the traditional good beers that they have, and then you do have sodas there. You do have Coke. That's something that we didn't have when we were at Noble, was Coke, 7-Up, or even drinks for the kids. So at this place, there's a lot of good drinks right there. So you're going to have non-alcoholic and alcoholic drinks. So it should be pretty good. So I'm not sure if we're going to get Klaus back. I'm stalling for a couple more minutes, and then we'll have to call it quits for tonight. But I do appreciate everybody getting on. And there's still over 200 people on right now. There's 167 total bits between these two right here. Hold on a second. It's the Halo Honk line.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
What's going on, my man?
Oh, just depressed.
Just a pressed Angels fan, huh?
How many years, man? How many years are we doing this?
Since 2014. So you do the math, 11 years, my man.
Well, no, when did Artie take over? 03, right?
Yeah, no, he officially took over in 04. Disney was still doing the transition in 03.
Man, so when do you think he's gonna sell?
He's not.
Come on, he has to eventually.
Nah, his the bad news is the family's gonna sell, and that's after he dies. So
I mean, I don't want to wish ill will, but yeah, that just cements my my faith in this team. It's just disappointing. That's it.
no, it's more than disappointing. I think we always get our hopes up, hoping that that something would change. And again, like other comments said on light that baby up over there on TikTok, like, hey man, we wanted a positive April, something to look forward to in May and see where we're at. And unfortunately, May, we play a bunch of contending teams, man, and it could get real ugly if we're not scoring by then. So, I mean, the time to fix the offense was 2 days ago. So I don't know what's going to happen right now.
Yeah, Washington said he doesn't believe in analytics or whatever.
When on the post game or what?
I think it was like earlier today.
Man, I don't understand that, because if that's the case, then he's just sitting there trying to prove everybody wrong, but at his expense too. So,
it'd be nice. Like, okay, let's say we kept sucking, but we traded all the veterans and just had all the young guys play. That'd be better, in my opinion.
Well, if they're still told to do the same things, it wouldn't be. You'd just be ruining whatever good qualities they had before they got here. So a change in culture is needed, I believe, at some point, but also a change in strategy is a must.
Yeah, maybe I should just change teams. I don't know.
You know what? A lot of fans are thinking that, and a lot of fans did do that. Ohtani was like the one player that pushed him over the edge, man. And a lot of fans that I know of, they went either to the Dodgers or they went to another team. They said F the Angels. So it wasn't all of them going to the Dodgers. There was several fans that went to other teams.
Yeah, I'm not a Dodgers fan, but I mean, I do like Ohtani, right? And I was happy he won, even though it hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, keep your head up and have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man. All right, so there's that. Right now, he got on, but Klaus, that was Fabio right there. Appreciate the call. You can click that link and just jump right in. Since I still can't figure out Google, it says pick a number. Pick the number. We will text you that number to your phone, and then you have that number so that you can get phone calls. Okay, do that. Waiting for the code. Never comes. Refresh. Never comes. So like I sent out a contact us type thing to the Google, and they still haven't gotten back to me. So trust me, I've been trying to get these phones up. It was one of those things where Skype completely crashed right before opening day. Like they said, no more personal use, and that was it. So Eric Ward says something interesting. 11 years of hell. It's like being married. Yikes. That can be hell if it's the wrong person, or if it's someone that fell out of love with you, or vice versa. That can be super hell. Been there, done that, unfortunately. Also, Demetrio says we should do a Heedy sell the team section in right field. I'm working on getting a section from 714 Tickets. They're trying to help me out to get a game at the best prices for Halos and the infield fans only, so we can all sit together. And if we do that, we'll do shirts and try to be all unified instead of like last time where we were all scattered. So hopefully that would be fun. And I've got some ideas for the shirts to where it won't look so much like to where they're going to tell us to cover up and or tell us that we can't wear those shirts. So that's coming too, because I've got an idea. Right when I was going to click out, look who just showed up. He flew in on a Stuka. It's Klaus.
And that's all I have to say about that. Did you get my speech? Did you hear it all?
You just came back right now. What the hell happened?
Damn it! Dang it! I had all that written down for you just because I wanted you to know, Todd, that you're never getting back at this stadium. I don't care what kind of tickets you have or what kind of shenanigans you'll pull, as you Americans say. You will not enter this stadium or be in it at all with that cursed makeup on, Todd.
I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna come in there with white face and piss you off.
Oh, that's so racist of you. I appreciate that. Why not bring up some old stuff while you're at it?
By the way, Klaus, I think Eric said earlier in the comments while you were talking to yourself, apparently, he said you like to investigate things. Can't you investigate what happened to the hitting?
Oh, let's see. Why don't you investigate these nuts, as you say in America?
Damn, you have been Americanized, Klaus. I'm proud of you.
Oh, let me tell you, I've seen enough television here in America to set me. I've watched a lot of Elvira. I've watched a lot of Shanana. I was a big fan of Fame. You Pay and Sweat, on Fame. I love that show.
I guess.
Anyway, Todd, I just want you to know that your celebration, the clown makeup, is going to be short-lived. In less than an hour, aircraft from the John Wayne Airport will join others from around the world. And we will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. How would you like that, Todd, if you show up at the stadium and see airplanes just dropping Stukas all over your little rainbow wig? Mankind, not clown kind. The word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. You must be wiped off the face of the earth like Rachel Ziegler from Snow White. Angel Stadium security will be united in our common interests. Perhaps it's fate that today that we will once again be fighting for our freedom, not from tyranny or oppression or persecution or Dodger fans, but from the white makeup abomination. We're fighting for the rights by the hunks. We're fighting for the rights for the hunks to exist. You don't allow them, Todd. You give them a hard time. I think that's rude.
I don't think I needed to hear that speech. It wasn't as good as I thought it was. Was that the speech you were talking about earlier?
Well, hold on. I'm not done.
I kind of tuned out.
I just got a little bit more to go, Todd.
I think you've gone far enough. By the way, I was waiting for there's a comment. Randy said that I don't see it on here. He was saying that there's a soundbite. Artie is ruining this team. What's it under? Because I don't see it unless I'm blind.
It's under my sack. How you like that one? And should we win that day, Todd, where we hold you down, incarcerate you, and then waterboard you for 2 hours?
Waterboard me? I don't know, man. I don't know about that one.
Just so you know, we will not go away, Todd. We will never go away. We will not go quietly in the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today we celebrate our Führer, Ati Moreno. Hey, Moreno!
Klaus? You take it easy, okay? I know you're in your 90s, so just chill a little bit, okay?
83, Todd. I turned 83 today.
Wow, it's pretty young.
Didn't hear a happy birthday from you.
You kicked me out, man. Why should I be nice to you?
That's true. Family 4-pack?
No, get out of here, Klaus. Freaking Klaus. Oh, that guy. Somehow he gets in. Okay, now I found it, Randy.
My lips, you're ruining it. Ruining.
That's the whole, you're ruining it. You're ruining it. That's whenever you think about Artie.
Look at my lips, you're ruining it. Ruining.
Look at my lips. You're ruining it. Oh man, Klaus did kill the show right there at the end with that speech. And then Boo Bear's mommy says, I say if you get thrown out wearing your clown makeup, we should all dress up like clowns. That would be great. That would be great. Also, every time I hear Klaus, I think of Red School, but with no IQ. That is a good soundbite though, Randy, for sure. All right. So I appreciate everybody being on all the different social medias, I guess, and helping us out there, even though Klaus was very rude at the end. The Angels lost tonight. Oh, I appreciate everybody that pitched in tonight, too, with the super stickers. That was awesome. Mateo, Boo Boo's mommy, Tyler, Joshua. Really appreciate everybody chipping in right there. So with that being said, we will who held me. Also, we will be back, Artie Moreno, tomorrow. The game is at 1:00. It's an early getaway day as the Angels fly back to Seattle. Imagine that. Joshua says family 4-pack coming soon. I don't think I'll be on at 4 per se, because likely when the Angels strike out so much, the game ends earlier. So if it's a 1:00 game, it'll probably finish around 3:30. So if it does 3:30, 4:00, there's no way I'm gonna be home by then. So likely around 5 or so, I'll be on, win or lose, like we always do, because this station, this podcast, this platform is by the fans, for the fans. We love all y'all. You guys and gals have a good rest of your evening. And I'll say it again with a question mark. Go Angels.